Hi everyone, a very good morning to one and all, and a warm welcome to the next session on HTML. So in today's session, we are going to discuss about frames in HTML. Before going to today's session, let us revive the things which we have discussed in the previous session. In the previous session, we have seen how to create tables and how to insert data into the tables and how to change some of the default properties of tables in HTML. Initially, we have created a table. For the table, we don't find any border. So in order to have some border on a web page, we need to use an attribute called as border along with the table tag, so that the table will have some borders. And after having the border, we have seen how to insert a table header. We have used a th tag. To insert table data, we have used a td tag. And to insert a row in the table, we have used a tr tag. Along with these things, we have seen two attributes called as column span and row span, where the column span is used to merge two or more number of columns in a table, and row span is used to merge two or more number of columns, two or more number of rows in a table. So for merging columns or rows, we are going to use the attributes called as row span and column span. Along with this, we have seen one more attribute called as bg color, which will change the background color. If the bg color attribute is used along with the table, then the entire table background color will be changed to the respected given color for the bg color attribute. If we use the bg color attribute along with the td, means that particular table data will get some other background color. If that bg color is used along with the tr, means the entire row will be changed to that color. So this is how we can change the background of a table or a column or a row or a data by using bg color. So we have already seen that we can also have an image at the background of a table. So if we want to have an image at the background of a table in HTML, we have used a tag called as, it is not a tag. We have used an attribute called as background attribute. For that background attribute, there will be a, for background attribute, we have to provide the path of an image. So that particular image will be set at the background of a table. And then we have seen how to change the border colors. So initially, by default, all the borders are in black color. And if we want to change the border color, we have to use the border color attribute. These are the things what we have discussed in the previous session. I think everyone is aware of all these things. So if you don't know about any of these things, please refer to the previous session. And now, today, let us start the session. In today's session, we are going to discuss about the topic frames, and myself, V. Dinesh Babu from the Department of CSE of Chabrol Engineering College. And welcome to the today's session. So let us move to the slide regarding the frames. So these frames are plays a very important role when we want to display two or more number of what we consider two or more number of HTML documents, two or more number of HTML documents in a same web page. Then we are going to use the concept called as frames. So I will explain the syntax later. So let us discuss here frames in HTML. So HTML frames are used to divide your browser window into multiple sessions, where each session can load a separate HTML document. Till now, we have seen a couple of multiple number of programs. So in all those programs, in each and every program or in each and every web page, we are only displaying a single HTML page output. we have seen regarding the links, we have seen regarding the images, or we have seen regarding the tables. In each and every program, we are going to, in each and every web page, we are going to display only one HTML file. So for example, if I want to display 2 or more number of HTML files in a single web page, then we have to divide the web page into multiple number of sessions, either by rows or columns. We have to divide that particular web page into multiple sessions. So the things which divide the web page into multiple sessions is called as frames. So that is the meaning of the first point. HTML frames are used to divide your browser. It is going to divide your browser window into multiple sessions. That is division in the sense they will divide the browser into 2 or more number of rows or 2 or more number of columns. It depends upon our need. We can divide in any number of rows and columns. So HTML frames are used to divide your browser into multiple sessions. So what we are going to do with this division, we are going to display one HTML document in each and every session. So we can display the same HTML document in all the sessions. We can have multiple number of HTML documents can be displayed in multiple number of sessions. So if we want to display more than one HTML document on a same web page, we have to go for frames. There is no alternative option, right? So let us look at the second point. A collection of frames in browser window is known as frame set. So the collection of frames in a browser window is called as frame set. So we already, it's already said that the web browser is going to be divided into multiple sessions. All these sessions are called as frames. And these collection of all these sessions or a collection of all these frames is called as frame set. It is a frame set of that particular web page, right? So let us move to the next point. So the use of frames on a web page, we use frame set tag instead of body tag. Very, very important. So here, up to now, we have written several programs. In all those programs, we have used multiple tags called as HTML, head tag, title tag, and body tag, etc. So the actual information what we want to display on the web page should be in between the start and end tag of the body tag. But here, inside the body of a web page, we are going to divide that entire body. We are going to divide the entire body. So here, when we are dealing with the frames, there is no need of use of this body tag. We can simply use frame set tag, right? Frame set tag. That particular frame set tag will divide the web page into multiple number of frames. I will explain how to divide, and I will show with an example how the division is done, right? So here, instead of body tag, when we want to have a multiple number of frames on a same web page, there is no need of body tag in our program. Instead of body tag, we are going to use frame set tag. This frame set tag will divide the web page into multiple number of rows or multiple number of columns, what we have specified there, right? So HTML frames are used to divide the web page into multiple sessions. That is the first point. In each and every session, we are going to display a separate HTML document, and the collection of all these sections are called as frame set. And instead of body tag inside a HTML document, we are going to use a new tag called as frame set tag. So that particular frame set tag will divide the entire web page into several frames, depending upon the values what we have given for the frame set tag, right? So let us see the syntax, which is already shown on the PowerPoint presentation. Syntax. So here we have to use a frame set tag. For that particular frame set tag, there are two attributes. The names of those two attributes are columns and rows. That is COLS and ROWS. What we will do with these columns or rows in the sense, if we want to divide the web page into multiple number of columns, then we are going to use the columns attribute. And if we want to divide the web page into multiple number of rows, then we use the attribute called as rows. So what is the values that should be provided for rows and columns in the sense? We have to provide the percentage. We have to provide the percentages. For example, if I want to divide the entire web page into four equal parts according to the columns, then we have to pass columns equal to 25%, comma 25%, comma 25%, comma 25%. So that will divide a single column on the web page into four equal parts, where each and every part consists of 25%. It will occupy the space 25% of the total space of the web page. So the same thing with the rows also. So if we want to divide the web page into multiple number of rows, we have to use this rows attribute. And if we want to divide the entire web page into two equal parts, then we can provide rows equal to 50%, comma 50%. So those values should be represented in the double quotes, because we already studied regarding the elements. Yeah, elements may contain attributes. For attributes, there are two parts: name of the attribute and value of the attribute, where the name of the attribute specifies what is the purpose of that attribute, and the value of the attribute specifies what we are going to do. So for all the values regarding the attributes, we have to provide those values in the double quotes. So here also you can see in the syntax, here they have given frame set space columns equal to within the double quotes n comma n, and rows equal to n comma n. That means in the place of n, we are going to provide some percentage value. For example, if we want to divide the entire page into 10 equal parts based on columns, then we have to provide columns equal to 10%, comma 10%, comma 10%, and so on. We have to provide the 10% with 10 times, so that it will divide the web page in terms of columns into 10 equal parts, where each and every part will occupy the 10% of total space of the web page. And inside that frame set tag, we are going to use a tag called as frame. So this particular frame tag will display some other HTML document in each and every section. So I will show, don't worry, I will show how to use frame set tag, how to use the columns attribute, how to use the rows attribute, how that frame tag under the frame set tag is useful while we are dealing with the concept of frames in HTML. I will show each and everything by using an example at the end of the theory part of this regarding frames. Right now, everything is clear, I think. So next one, I'm moving to the next slide. So before moving to the next slide, let us see the second point. The frame set tag defines how to divide the window into frames. So that's what we have discussed so far. So we are going to use a tag called as frame set tag, where there are two attributes that for that frame set tag. Those two attributes are columns and rows. So if we want to divide the web page regarding columns, we can provide columns equal to some percentages within double quotes. And same with the rows. If we want to divide the web page according to the rows, we can provide rows equal to some percentages within the double quotes. Right? And next, let us see the next slide. So the rows attribute of frame set tag defines horizontal frames, and columns attribute defines the vertical frames. That is what we have discussed, where the rows will divide the web page in terms of rows, and columns will divide in terms of columns. That means columns defines the vertical frames and rows defines the horizontal frames. Next one, right? Each frame is indicated by a frame tag. We have just seen in the syntax. Under the frame set tag, along with the columns or rows attribute, we have one more tag under the frame set tag is called as frame tag. So each and every frame tag, by using frame tag, we are going to insert one HTML document in each and every frame. For example, we have divided the entire web page into 4 equal parts. That means 2 rows and 2 columns. So 2 rows and 2 columns means we have to display 4 different HTML documents. So those 4 HTML documents should be added to our web page by using a tag called as frame tag. So frame tag, we have to provide one web page that will be displayed at first row, first column. And for we have to use the same frame tag, and we have to provide a second HTML document that will be displayed in the first row, second column. And similarly, we have to provide one more frame tag that will insert the third HTML document, and that HTML document will be inserted at the second row, first column. And we have to provide the fourth frame tag that will insert the document at the second row, second column. So I will show, don't worry, I will show. And coming to the syntax of the frame, we all know regarding the how to insert images into HTML. We all know how to insert images. We have already studied in the sessions before. So if we want to insert an image into HTML document, we are going to use a tag called as IMG tag. So IMG tag is used to insert an image into HTML. So that particular IMG tag, not only single IMG tag is not enough to insert an image. For that IMG tag, we have to use one attribute in order to display some image on the web page. So the attribute name is SRC, which means source. So what is the source? Where is the source? We have to take the image that should be given as a value to the source attribute. So similar to the inserting images into HTML, if we want to insert certain HTML document in a frame, if we want to insert certain HTML document into a frame, we have to use the frame tag. Not simply by using the frame tag, we cannot display a document at particular frame. So for frame tag, we have to use an attribute called as source attribute, SRC. And for the source attribute, we have to provide the complete path of an HTML document, so that that particular HTML document will be inserted at respected frame, right? So let us discuss each and every attribute what we have displayed on the this slide. So the frame tag is used to insert HTML document on a frame, right? So that frame tag contains the following attributes. So the names of those attributes are SRC, name, scrolling, and frame border, right? SRC. So this is used to link some HTML document into the frame. That is, we have to provide the complete path of an HTML document. So the complete path of an HTML document as a value to the SRC attribute, and the name it is used for the future reference. And then scrolling. So if we have inserted one HTML document inside a frame, so that particular HTML document is less size when compared to the size of the frame, it is okay, it is fine. There is no need of scrolling there. If the same HTML document is having a large size than our size of the frame where we are going to insert that HTML document, then we need some scrolling. So in order to view the complete HTML document within the frame, we need some scrolling. So that scrolling should be provided by using an attribute called a scrolling attribute. So if we set by default, it is by default the scrolling is on, there is no problem. So if we want to off that particular scrolling, we have to pass the value no. So for scrolling, we can provide 3 values, either S or no or auto. So if we provide S means that particular frame will get scroll bar. If we provide no means that particular frame will not have a scroll bar. If we set auto means if there is need of scroll bar, it will set automatically. If there is no need, it will never set scroll bar to that frame. So when the concept of scrolling comes in the sense, we have a frame of size 100 pixels height and 100 pixels width, and in that 100 that is height and width, we are trying to insert a HTML document where the size of that particular HTML document is 400 pixels height and 400 pixels width. So at the time, our frame is capable of displaying only 100 pixels width and 100 pixels height. The remaining 300 pixels width and 300 pixels height cannot be displayed at a time. At that particular point of time, we need some scrolling or scroll bar. So during the times, if we want some scroll bar to be added to the frame, we can provide scrolling equal to yes. No problem whether we provide yes or no. By default, from HTML5 onwards, scrolling is set to yes by default. So some people may not want to display their entire data of a HTML document on a frame. For those type of people, we need to have the scroll. For example, if you provide scrolling is equal to no, then no scroll bar will be added to the particular frame on a web page, right? And then, so by default, there will be some frame borders. So if we want to have a frame border, we have to pass 1. And if we don't want to have a frame border, we can pass a 0 as a value to the attribute of frame border. So now Now I think everyone have some enough knowledge regarding the frames. So I think you may have some doubts regarding the frame set tag or frame tag and how to insert the different HTML documents in the same frame, etc. So I will clarify all your doubts by explaining all the things what we have discussed so far in today's session by using an example, right? So before, no problem. Now we can see point by point and we can parallelly work with the example in Edit Plus. So let us open the Edit Plus document in order to have some hands-on. I already suggested all of you to please practice each and everything. So if you just listen and just leave the things, you may or may not remember all these things. But if you practice once, means you will never forget all these things. It's very easy when we have some general knowledge on HTML. It is very easy to use HTML coding. So I request all the students to practice each and everything what we are discussing in all the sessions from the last 10 days, right? So this is the basic thing. We have head HTML tag, head tag, title tag, and closing of head tag. And then by when we are writing some programs, normal programs, we are going to use this type of things. That is, we are going to use some body tag, right? We are going to use some body tag. So while we are dealing with frames, there is no need of body tag. Instead of body tag, we are going to use a new tag called as frame set tag. So instead of body tag, we are going to use a new tag called as frame set tag. And today, in this section, we are going to deal with frames. That is why I have changed my the title of my web page as frames in HTML. Frames in HTML. So let us see the syntax of the frame set tag, and then we can start working with this frame set tag. So before going to see the syntax, let us save this code. Let us save this code. We have done nothing. We just changed the title of this web page. The title of this web page is frames in HTML. So just I saved the code, and let us observe the output of this particular code, and it is at documents. So let us open the documents and let us see the output of this particular code. The name of the program is links.html. Let us open this document in order to find the output. One second. Let us save this code with another name. Save as frames, right? Frames dot HTML. I have just changed the name of the web page. So here we are going to deal with right, frames.html. So let us open this frames.html. Here it is. It is frames.html. Just double click on it. It will show the output of your web page. So just compare the code what you have written here with the output what we got in the web page. So we are dealing with HTML documents, and the title of this HTML page is frames in HTML. So you can observe the title here. So the title is frames in HTML. And inside the body, we have done nothing. We just used the frame set tag and we just closed the frame set tag. That is why the entire body, what here we are showing is the entire body of the web page. The entire body of the web page is single, is unique. That means there are no divisions in the web page. Okay, it is a single frame, right? So let us divide this web page into frames. So just refer the syntax. In the syntax, you can see here in the syntax, you can see along with the frame set tag, not only simply by using the frame set tag, we cannot divide. along with the frame set tag, we have to use columns and rows, or we have to use either columns or rows, or we can use both of them. So I will show the division, different types of division. So we have to provide columns equal to some n comma n, or rows equal to some n comma n, or both. We can use both. I will show the three things. So let us divide the web page based upon rows. So I want to divide the web page with some percentages, like I want to divide it with some 50%, comma. I want to divide it. I want to have one more 25% of row, and I want to have one more 25% of row. Total it have to cover 100. Or if you left any value, means that total value will be occupied by one more frame. I will show it in later. Don't worry. So frame set. I'm going to divide this web page in terms of rows, and those division can be done 50% as one part, 25% as another part, and 25% as another part. Let us save this code, saving this code, and then make a refresh on this one. One second. Okay, sorry. So I will show the output, don't worry. This particular frame set tag will divide the entire web page into three parts based upon rows. The first part is 50%, and the remaining two parts are 25 and 25. So under this one, if you observe the syntax, we have used a tag called as frame tag. So the usage of frame tag, the syntax of frame tag is defined in the next slide. Frame tag, we need to have an SRC. That means we have to provide the path of an HTML document that is to be displayed in the frame. So just use tag called as frame tag. Just use a tag called as frame tag, right? So for this particular frame tag, just provide a source, right? Just provide source. The source should be any other HTML document. So here we have some document like we have some document called as links. So let us see the properties of the links. So this is the path of the links document. Let us copy the path, okay, and provide it for it as an value slash links dot HTML, right? So and write one more frame tag. Let's close this frame tag here, and write one more frame tag. And this particular frame tag is having a source. There is one more HTML document here. The name of the document is csc.html. So use the same path. And extend it with csc dot some HTML, right? And then close the frame tag. Close the frame tag, and let us display the same thing in the next frame also. Let us display the same thing. As I said earlier, we can display the same web page on different frames, or different web pages on different frames. So this is the code what we have written, right? So before going to see the output, let us see what we have written here. We have used the frame set tag. We have divided the frame into 3 rows. The first row is of half of the web page, and the remaining 2 rows are remaining 25% part of the web page. And in the first row, in the first 50%, I'm going to display the HTML documents with the name links. So the links HTML document will be displayed in the first 50%. And in the next 25%, csc.html is going to be displayed. Okay, so let us save this code. And just make a refresh on this one. You can observe here. So this is the first 50% part, right? This is the first 50% part, and these are the remaining 25 and 25% parts. Okay, so 1 second. This is the first 50% part. 1 second, I will first 50% part of the web page, right? And next one, this is the 25% part, 25% part of the web page, and this is the 25% part of the web page, right? 25% part and 25% part of the web page. So here, so there is nothing in CSC, that's why it has displayed empty things. Now let us see, let us change. 1 second. Let us change the name of these files as also as links, and save the code, and now just observe the output by making a refresh on this one. Observe the output. You can observe we are displaying the same web page, that is the name of the web page is links, in first part, second part, and third part. So here the same web page is displayed in all the three parts. So this is the first part. You can observe by scrolling it down. So this is the first part, and in the second part also we are going to display the same web page. That is why the data is same in each and every part of the web page, right? So this is how we can divide a web page into multiple number of rows. So let us see what happens if we change the particular thing with second. I will just, and it's denoting these deleting these annotations, right? Okay, let us observe what will happens if we change the things with columns. So save the code and then make a refresh on this one. You can observe here. So the entire web page is divided into multiple number of columns. That is, the first column is of 50% and the remaining two columns is of 25 and 25%. So in each and every column, we are displaying a HTML document called as links.html, right? So here you can observe this is the first 50%, second 50%, and third 50%. You can observe the entire output of the web page by scrolling it down. And similarly, here also we can scroll it down and we can scroll it left to right in order to observe the entire output of the particular web page, right? So this is how we can divide a web page into multiple number of rows or multiple number of columns. So let us see what happens if we don't provide this remaining 25% and 25%. Let us see and observe what happens. I just provided only 50%. So I just saved the program and I'm just making a refresh on this one. So it is only occupying the 50% of the web page. The remaining 50% of the web page is not good. Sorry, it is occupying the entire things because we have mentioned here 50. So not a single percentage. Let us use one more percent, that is 25%. So here, let us see what will happen here. Just saving the program and making a refresh. So the entire web page is divided into two parts. That is, it is occupying first 50 and the remaining 25, right? So next one. So let us observe what will happen in case if we divide the entire web page, that is in terms of rows and columns. Up to now, we have seen how to divide a web page based upon rows and how to divide a web page based upon columns. So now let us use both the attributes rows and columns. Let us use both the attributes rows and columns here and see what will happen to our particular web page. So total we are dividing 3 rows and 3 columns. That means there will be 9 divisions in your web page. So save the code, and just refresh the button. So this is the first division, this is the second division, and we can observe, wait for a second. Total, I am going to copy and paste all these things a couple of times so that total 9 frames will be displayed in 9 different areas of a web page. Just refresh the thing. So you can observe here, okay, total 9 frames, right? Where the frames are divided in terms of 50%, 25, 25 in terms of columns, and 50, 25, 25 in terms of rows. So total 3 rows and 3 columns, total 9 frames can be inserted here. So the total 9 frames are, you can observe this is the first frame, second frame, third frame, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So this is how we can divide our web page into any number of rows and any number of columns. Okay, so now let us add a few more attributes what we have seen in the PPT. So in the frame, along with the SRC, we can use name. This name can be used for further references. So at present, we cannot see any use with this name. So let us see the attribute called as scrolling attribute. So let us see the scrolling attribute, and let us add the scrolling attribute to this particular frame set tag, and let us observe the output. So before going to see about the scrolling attribute of the frame set tag, let us observe these things. This is the code what we have written so far. In the code, while we are dealing with the frame set tag, we have never used the scrolling attribute. So even though we don't use the scrolling attribute, the scroll bars are automatically set to each and every frame. You can observe both horizontal and vertical scroll bars have been set automatically for each and every frame of the web page, right? So that means by default, these scroll bars are set in HTML5. So if some people don't want to display their entire data in the web page, they want to display the first part, they want to display some part. That means for those type of people, scrolling can be, we can say no, we can pass no as a value to the scrolling attribute. If we pass no as a value to the scrolling attribute, let us see what will happen. Save the code, right? Save the code and just make a refresh. You can observe there are multiple number of scroll bars here. For each and every frame, there is one horizontal and one vertical scroll bar for each and every frame. Total 9 frames are there in our web page. So there are 9 horizontal scroll bars and 9 vertical scroll bars. So I have used scrolling equal to no and make a refresh on this one. One second. Sorry. We have to use this scrolling. Sorry, I just written one mistake in the program. We have to use this scrolling along with the frame tag, not with the frame set tag. I'm very sorry. So if any frame tag is associated along with this scrolling and no value, that means there will be no scroll bar for this particular frame. I'm very sorry. I have used the scrolling attribute to the frame set tag. We have to use this scrolling attribute to the frame tag only. So here, for the first frame, so where it occupies 50% row and 50% column, for the first frame, I have applied scrolling equal to no. So let us save the code, and observe the output. Initially, there are 2 scroll bars, that is horizontal and vertical scroll bar. Now, just make a refresh. You can observe there are no scroll bars here. There are no scroll bars, right? This is we can move it automatically, no problem. But there are no scroll bars similar to the remaining frames, right? So there is no horizontal scroll bar and there is no vertical scroll bar for frame 1. And if we don't want to have the scroll bars for the middle frame also, so for the middle frame also there are 2 scroll bars, and if we don't want to have these scroll bars, means we have to use this scrolling equal to no option. So here this is the fifth frame, I think. First one, second one, third frame, fourth frame, fifth frame. So let us use the scrolling attribute with the no value for the fifth frame. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, just save the program and make a refresh in this one. You can observe the scroll bars have been deleted for this particular fifth frame. So this is how we can have scroll bars for a particular frame on a web page, and we can off those scroll bars. And similarly, we can set auto to the scroll bar, means if scroll bars are needed for that frame, they will be added automatically. If there in case of there is no need of scroll bars, means they will be deleted automatically. So let us see the last attribute in today's class. Frame border equal to 0 or 1. By default, there are some borders for each and every frame. You can observe there are some borders for each and every frame. And if we don't want to have the frame borders, one second, frame. We don't want to have the frame borders, then we can simply pass 0. Right? We can simply pass 0 so that the borders for that particular frame will be deleted automatically. Save the code and make a refresh so that you can observe there are the frame has been the border has been deleted for that particular frame. So with this, I'm going to close today's session. Right? I think everything is clear. So if you have any doubts, you can text me or you can comment me. Right? So before closing the session, let us revive the entire program. Right? So we are dealing with HTML. That is why we have used the HTML tag. And then the additional information regarding this HTML document, and we embedded with the head tag. And we are going to give a title called as frames in HTML. That is why we have used the title tag, and we have provided the frames in HTML as a text to the title tags. Right? And then when we are dealing with frames, we don't need to have body tag. Instead of body tag, we are going to use a tag called as frame set tag. So that frame set tag will divide the screen or the web page into multiple number of sessions. So division, if we want the division to be done in terms of columns, we have to use columns attribute. And if you want the division to be done in terms of rows, we have to use the rows attribute. So for the columns attribute or rows attribute, we have to provide the percentages, the division percentages, what we need on the web page. So if we want the web page to be divided into 10 equal parts, then we can provide 10%, 10%, 10%, and so on. So that the particular web page will be divided into 10 equal parts. Right? So similarly, so under the frame set tag, we have to use a tag called as frame tag, which will display particular web page in the frame. So here we have divided the web page into 9 parts, where there are 3 columns and 3 rows, means there will be 9 frames. Total 9 frames can be inserted in the web page. So we have to provide the 9 frame tags in order to insert 9 frames in different locations of the web page. So the first frame tag will insert the HTML document in the first frame. The second frame tag will insert the document in the second frame. Similarly, the 9th frame tag will insert the document in the 9th frame. So for frame tag, we have to use this SRC attribute. So SRC attribute is the one which is dealing to link particular HTML document to a particular frame. So for SRC, we have to provide the path of any HTML document. So we can have to provide a path of any HTML document, and that HTML document will be displayed in a respected frame. So for this, by default, the scrolling will be S. If anybody don't want to have the scrolling for their frame, they can use this option called as scrolling equal to no. So there will be no scroll bars for this particular frame. And similarly, if we don't want to have the frame borders, we can use the frame border equal to 0, so that the frame will not have any borders. And at the end, we have to close each and every frame tag. And at the end, we have to close the frame set tag. And at the end of the program, we have to close the HTML code. right? So this is the thing what we have done. Don't confuse with the links.html program. So links.html, yesterday we have worked with tables. In the last class, in the previous class, we have worked with tables. So how do we have created table, we have created table data, we have created table header, we have created table row, and we have changed the background color by using BG color, and we have inserted one background image by using the background. We have merged the columns by using column span. We have merged the rows by using row span in the table, right? So these all are the things what we have discussed in the previous class, right? This is the previous class output, and that particular output is displayed 9 number of times by using the frames in HTML, right? So with this, I'm going to close the today's session, right? In the next session, we are going to discuss about the topic called as forms. So forms are the things which are used to take input from the user, right? I will show how to create a form and how to use the form in order to take input from the users. So if people are very clear with the things what we have used in AWT in Java, in AWT and Java, we have created text fields, we have created password fields, checkboxes, radio buttons. All these things will be created by using the HTML also, by using the concept called as forms. So we will discuss in the next section. So, and if you have any queries regarding today's session, you can just comment. And then I thank each and everyone for listening my lecture. And thank you very much. And hope you get some knowledge regarding today's concept frames in HTML. And thanks a lot, and thank you very much.